Kites Hill is approximately 40 acres. It consists of some ancient beech woodland, which is listed as a triple SI, that's a site of special scientific interest, and that's also of European interest because there's very little of that type of woodland left. The rest of the site is mostly unimproved grassland, and something that we're going to be looking at in the future is trying to increase the biodiversity further. You can see around me a lot of brown butterflies, they're meadow browns, but hopefully the biodiversity will increase further once we have more plant species here. So a lot of the fields, you can see, they're surrounded by large trees. So they've not been managed for probably over 10 years or so. So we're working very closely with TCV, the conservation volunteers, who are a local partner in this area. The work they do at the moment is managing the hedgerows. We've got some ancient hedgerows on site. TCV also, throughout the winter, spend a lot of time in our ancient beech woodland. Some of the other work they're doing is controlling the level of sycamore, which is not a native species, and also some ivy management. We like to leave some ivy in the woodland because it does provide really good shelter for bird species such as wrens and robins, but it can cause damage to some of the beech trees, so we manage that to a decent level.
But TCV is a national conservation charity. We work on a local level with volunteers from all backgrounds. What we aim to do is improve sort of local places by involving the local community. Nothing had been done here for quite a long time. We'd identified quite quickly that the woodland hadn't been managed properly, or the hedgerows haven't been managed for a really, really long time, because, well, they're so overgrown and the diversity within them is not very high. So we now have a coppice regime within the woodland. We do it on an annual basis, so we do a section of the woodland every winter, and over the last 2 years we've done the same for the hedgerows. I first came to Kites Hill as a volunteer with TCV when it was called BTCV quite a few years ago, and I helped plant the trees along there and the trees up by the access point when you come into the site, and then began working for TCV as a paid member of staff. I think it's amazing. Well, it's amazing just because it's so close to the city centre. 10 minutes from the city centre and you can be here, and you're in the middle of nowhere really, and you can't hear anything apart from buzzards and the wind in the trees, and you can be a million miles away, and I love it.
As World Land Trust does internationally, we work with partners here, TCV, who I've mentioned being one of them.
We also work with a farmer, Michael Drake, who grazes the fields for us.
He has a herd of around 16 young Aberdeen Angus cattle. It's really important that the site is grazed. It helps keep the dominant grass species down, and it really helps to increase the biodiversity. Lots more wildflowers come in, which is definitely something that we're looking to conserve. He's a really good farmer to have on board. He's very environmentally friendly and is very keen to help us as a conservation organisation in any way that he can. What I love about Kites Hill is the fact that it is our only UK reserve. It gives us an opportunity to really get involved in conservation within our own country, and I think that's really important. People will ask us, you know, what we're doing for wildlife conservation in the UK, and I think it's really important that we are taking an interest, and we are doing the best that we can with, although it's only 40 acres, it's a really special 40 acres. There's a lot of different habitats here that are traditional English habitats that are really important for us to be managing, and that's really special to have it all in one site on such a small location with an amazing view of Gloucester behind us. And with some fantastic species. We've got buzzards cooing above us and butterflies surrounding me. It's a really beautiful site.